ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Welcome to the segment of Code Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation for the day is from page 209, Rag Gauri Mahalla Panjava. Gauri Mahalla Panjava, Sahaj Samaio Dev, Moko Satgur Pahe Dayal Dev Rahao. काट जेवरी कियो दासरो, संतन टहलायो, एक नाम को थियो पुजारी, मोको अचरज गुरह दिखायो. भयो प्रगास सर्व उजियारा, गुर ज्ञान मने प्रगटायो. अमृत नाम पियो मन तृप्त्या, अन भय ठहरायो. माने आज्ञा सर्ब सुख पाए, दुखों ठाव गवायो. जो सुप्रसन्न भये प्रभ ठाकुर, सब आनंद रूप दिखायो. ना किछ आवत ना किछ जावत, सब खेल कियो हर रायो. कहो नानक अगम अगम है ठाकुर, भगत टेक हर नायो. ना किछ आवत ना किछ जावत, सब खेल कियो हरि रायो. कहो नानक अगम अगम है ठाकुर, भगत टेक हर नायो. So the last verse of this Shabad is telling us the direct experience that Guru Arjan has, the insight that he receives from the Satgur. And the insight is, na kich avat, na kich javat, sab khel kiyo har rayo. कहो नानक अगम अगम है ठाकुर, भगत टेक हर नायो. So the truth that Guru Arjan has realized is simply that nothing comes and nothing goes. In other words, nothing dies, nothing is born. This is simply an illusion. The universe is nothing more than a sport, a stage, a play for the sovereign self. Sab khel, khel is play. Kyu hararayo. He's brought this play about. So, but as individuals, we live under this impression of birth and death. But through self-knowledge, that is the realization that one has. Kaho nanak agam agam hai ठाकुर, भगत टेक हर नायो. The master, the creator, is ultimately inaccessible, ultimately beyond physical reach. So how do we connect with it? We do so by taking refuge in the virtue of self-knowledge. Self-knowledge indeed is virtue, divine virtues. Collectively is what we call self-knowledge. And it is important here to remember we are talking about the Satgur. The Satgur is a principle. It's the principle of the absolute knowledge. And it's not necessarily a person, although it can be. For instance, Guru Arjan, when he is speaking about the Satgur, is most likely speaking about Guru Ramdas, as the Satgur. But for us who are living in the 21st century, the Gur is textual. It's the Guru Granth Sahib. So this is an important point to remember about the Satgur. And so this passage essentially instructs us to transform our nature, or rather to return to our authentic nature, which is called Sahaj, or cosmic consciousness, something that we are born with but become disassociated from, because the process of social conditioning takes over and creates a sense of haume that blocks or partitions us from the self. And the split from the self brings inner disquiet, which spreads like pervasive negativity. So in the Rahau, the Guru says, Sahaj Samaio Dev, Boko Satguru Bhai Dayal Dev. Through the compassion of the Satguru, I received the light of Guru wisdom, and now, with spontaneous ease, I have found a repose in the self, in my authentic nature. Sahaj, I would recommend going to www.khojgurbani.org for a more detailed treatment. But essentially, it is a state of natural ease, of being spontaneous. It is the goal in Sikhi, to be living in that kind of state, but that requires the presence of the Satgur, wisdom. And then the Guru goes on to explain what does working with the Satgur do. Kaat jevari kiyo dasaro santan tehlayo ek naam ko thiyo pujari mo ko achraj gurah dikhayo. The Satgur has showed me the amazing path, or the Satgur has given me this wondrous insight through self-knowledge. And by following the Satgur, Santan Tehlayo, I have broken the fetters of my mind and become a servant of the self. So you're seeing here the elements of the way of Gurmat. There is discipleship and there is the right association. Because discipleship assumes no knowledge, and that implies receptivity to instruction. And right association calls for mingling with individuals who are on the path of self-realization with intensity and with deep contemplation. So when you are on that process, the result, it is a dialectic between the Satgur and the Sikh. Bhayo prakash sarab ujyara gur gyan manih pragatayo. Gur Gyan is the synthetic, transcendent synthesis that results from this dialectic. If you see the Satgur as the thesis and the disciple as the antithesis, they're engaged in an osmosis, in an osmotic exchange of Naam. The Satgur elicits the best out of the Sikh, and the Sikh's questioning prompts the Satgur to shed light where it is needed. And this exchange is based on implicit trust and surrender, kiyo dasaro. And so you get a direct vision of reality. Amrit naam piyo man triptya anabhay therayo. You become fearless. Mani agya sarab sukh paye dukhe thaun gavayo. Jo suprasanna bhaye Prabhu Thakur sab anand roop dikhayo. Then you get this direct vision, as we have indicated, guided by the Gur, the Satgur. All happiness now replaces sorrow. It simply means that you experience a self of well-being, that you overcome obstructions, and that is the pleasure of the Master. It reveals this vision that the Guru is talking about and what we discussed, na kich avat, na kich javat. I've realized that truth, the Guru says. Nothing comes and nothing goes. On that note, until the next time, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.